Hello everyone, and welcome back to the Tabletop Almanac. My name is Simon. I am your host and proprietor of this channel and all content herein. And welcome back to the second episode of All the Devils Are Here, a Chronicle of the Black Hand, or Vampire the Masquerade 20th Anniversary Edition. Last session, our Black Hand column went to investigate the incident at another local cult at their compound, and found they had all been brutally slaughtered by a vampire who ranted and raved about grandmother awakening and showed himself to have some sort of truck with the Infernal. Could it be? But it ended with him being rapidly beheaded by Zephyrin, our Toreador with a blade, who rolled immensely well, and he didn't soak any of it, and it took away all his health levels, and it's lethal, and he went for a cold shot to the head or neck, and ashes. So, let's go around. Everyone can introduce themselves and their character, and we'll begin. Let's begin over here. Suni.
Oh, me. Hey, what's up? I'm Suni, and I am playing Thessalia, daughter of Cacophony.
And up here, Ryan.
Yes, my name is Ryan. I am playing the La Sombra Anti-Tribute, Ambrose Blakely.
All right. And Ray.
I am Ray. I'm playing Nikolai and Oakland Symmetry.
And last but not least, Tolly.
Hey everybody, I'm Toli. I am playing Zephyrine. She is a Toreador anti-tribute.
All right. And if you haven't seen our previous two episodes where we talk at length about the Black Hand and all the good they do in the world, and why they are such a fantastical group of super friends, and what their agenda is, and specifically what our column's agenda is, fight demons. Then you can go back and watch those, and that'll bring you up to speed. But here we are at the entrance of the compound. Zephyrin having, were she mortal, she would have barely broken a sweat. Maybe not even that. Her ritual knife down at her side, a pile of ashes where our Bali once stood as he tried to escape his torture and interrogation by them all. What did you use again? A meat thermometer?
Yes.
To lobotomize him? Yes.
He was being irrational. He needed to be calmed down.
Word of warning, we do not shy away from the graphic gore and violence in this series. But everything else, yeah, we shy away from. Okay, so what do you do?
I'm gonna turn to the group. Well, this one's of no use to us anymore. Good thing he didn't get out. I suppose we should search the premises, see what's on here.
I'll make a call to my retainer. Say, fetch a forensics kit.
Okay. We'll bring you one. So, forensic kit. Zephyrin wants to go. What's the other half of our...
Thessalia will give like a little applause for Zephyrin, because that was a beautiful sight. It was such a clean kill. And she says, "Oh, Zephy, that was so impressive. Leave it to you not to let anybody out." And as she's like saying this, she's like walking over to the decapitated body now. She just wants to take a look. She's interested.
Well, it's actually a pile of ashes.
Oh, the ashes. So she's going to look at the ashes.
Okay, yeah. Poke. They're ashes.
Mm-hmm.
Relatively nondescript ashes at this point. There are other bodies if she really wants to poke at a body, but this one has ceased to be a body.
Got you. No, she's kind of like idling around. She's waiting for our next move.
Okay. Ambrose, anything on your end?
Yes, I will stand back up as I was sitting down as this Bolly took off to run away. Zephyrin did it and just walk out and go past everyone and go inside. It's like, you may not want to cause too much of a commotion given that Nikolai has called for forensics.
Good thoughts. Okay. Your retainer is just out in the car, right?
Yeah, it's on the over here.
Yeah. So he'll be there in about 5 minutes with a standard forensic kit. Anyone doing anything while he starts dicking around with the crime scene?
I think I'm gonna go outside and talk to the lieutenant that was out there.
Mm-hmm.
Gonna walk out very calmly, kind of dust off the jacket as I walk out.
Get
And it was
the
the
ashes off.
lieutenant. Correct?
Yes.
Okay. Lieutenant, the direct threat has been averted, but you will need to give me some more time in here. For now, you and your men can go home.
What should we be preparing for?
Be ready to saddle up at my command. Be alert and present, but beyond that, await any further instruction and have faith in me and my companions.
Oh, we always do.
Good. Your faith will be rewarded. Now
All
go.
right. He gets on the radio, tells everyone to stand down and depart the scene. So within
And I'll make my way back inside.
all right, within about 5 minutes, the only thing you got left is whatever vehicles you used to get here, except for your Uber. That has gone.
Damn.
You got another call.
Damn. That's rude.
Yeah.
Giving him one star.
Yeah, please hang around at the murder scene with us. Be great.
Yeah. You have nothing else to do.
Well, okay, so I would not normally digress quite so much, but if anyone has not seen, what's that movie on Netflix? The vampire one. Night Teeth.
Night Teeth, yeah.
Yeah. That's sort of the premise. So it's fun. It's worth a watch. Okay. Back to the game. All right. So, Ray, do you want to make a roll with it, or what are you looking for in particular?
I mean, right now, I think more importantly, I'm gonna document everything.
Okay. Sure. Yeah. Easy enough to do.
Yeah, then try to probably right now mostly focus on making sure the ritual is fully documented.
Yeah.
So I can try to find the source of where he got it from. Yeah, regular investigative stuff. Try to find leads.
Sure. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, so I mean, I guess I'll say that you can easily document it, so no need to roll for that or anything. But you wanted to, well, I guess you're focusing on the ritual and you want to try to figure out where he got it from. And
yeah, I mean, just I'm gonna do everything very methodically. Like, yeah. I'm not rushing through this. Like, I'm probably gonna take a lot of stuff home, consult my library.
Okay.
So you're doing are you doing a full forensic like investigation?
Yeah. Yep.
All right. So hours is what we're talking.
Yeah. I'm
Okay.
just taking pictures of everything, taking samples of everything, like full analysis.
Okay, that'll take Nikolai the rest of the night then, I guess.
Yeah, probably.
To do it thoroughly.
Mhm.
On one note, just as a GM reminder to players, did anyone remember? He mentioned somebody, not about the ritual itself, but about sort of a contact at some point. No? Yes? Yeah.
Mr. Wright.
Mr. Wright. Yeah. Okay.
Look at me taking notes.
Yeah. Take notes. Notes are helpful for everybody.
Real.
PSA. Okay. All right. So that'll be rest of Nikolai's evening. So the other three, let's figure out what yours is going to be about.
I think Thessalia would be interested in. There was a scene where she heard, you described it as like industrial music, like she was distracted by the music.
Mhm.
I think that would haunt her a little bit, and I think she would take time to like rescan the area if she hears that sort of sound again, or if there's something different.
Okay. Yeah. So that was okay. So let's have from her. Perception and awareness.
Perception and awareness.
It's not necessarily. This is sort of how she took in the scene, like how it translated to her particular thing. So, I guess you're looking around for something to try and pick it up again. Is that right?
Yeah, she's looking for that same unsettling feedback that she got.
You want to use
Okay,
awareness or alertness? Because that's slightly different. Awareness is like sixth sense with a supernatural type of thing.
Yeah. Because it is still sort of that, isn't it?
They're both one for me.
Are they the same for you?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, roll one of them and let's see what happens.
I got a 5, a 1, and a 10.
So the 1 cancels out the 10, and the 1 with no successes means a botch.
No, it's not a botch.
Not a botch.
Botch is no successes at all.
No successes
one.
in ones. Yeah. It's a failure though. So
it's still a failure. Yeah.
So
as long as you get 1 success, it's no botch.
Yeah. Did it used to be that way?
Depends on which rule system. So
yeah. All right. So let's just say yes, and I got confused. Okay. So no, she's not really able to pinpoint that exact feeling again. Partly because the whole abattoir, as it were, is really kind of throwing off her internal soundtrack. It's like having a dream where it can't help but keep changing into a nightmare over and over again, and then it goes back, and then it goes back, and then it goes back, and you pull yourself back in, into the comfortable yet bizarre dream you were having, and then that degenerates again into some nightmarish scenario. So, everything is made of Lego, and then everything is made of human body parts, and then you're like, no, back to the Lego, and then it's that kind of thing going on.
What a treat. I think that would distress her, because she thinks she's quite talented, and thinks that she can pick up any sounds easily. So this kind of distresses her further, and she kind of just walks separately away from the group and deeper into the ranch.
Remind me of your path again.
My path? What is my path?
Self-focus, power in your voice.
That's all right, isn't it?
Cathari. That's it. Yeah. Okay. It was Cathari. Cool.
I didn't write that down. Oh, there it is. My bad.
Yeah, no. That's okay.
There it is.
Yeah. The one thing, according to the tenets of your philosophy, their death isn't a big deal. They're going to come back. But yeah, losing some degree of control over these things, even though you lead others into a loss of control, is definitely a bit unnerving. What's your rating in it?
What's my what?
Rating in it.
5.
5. Okay. Okay, you're good. All right. Okay. So that's what Thessalia is doing. What's Zephyrin and Ambrose doing? Since you don't want to be messing around with the crime scene.
You want to go first, Zephyrin, or shall I?
Well, I kind of do want to mess around with the crime scene. That's the thing. But I probably won't, against my worser inclinations.
You have all been working together for a little while, so
Yeah.
are aware of each other's talents and proclivities.
Yep. Knowing and seeing so many bodies, because also we've also established that the bodies towards the end, or the further that we go in, still have maybe some blood in them.
Mm-hmm.
There's a part of me that's curious if there is any blood left. But there's also a part of me that recognizes that now's not the best time.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not gonna cave into my impulses just yet.
I mean, if you know proper procedure, I have no problems. You doing stuff.
Yeah. I mean, I just killed a person when I thought we were in sort of a danger, so I did my part. I'm gonna not be impulsive right now, so I'll wait it out.
All right.
Good. Yep. Okay.
So, this is a major ritual. Major rituals follow religious calendars. What auspicious days are happening, and what are the auspicious signs in the stars?
Oh man. Okay. Let's see.
And I have Occult 4 and Academics 3 with a specialty in theology.
Okay. Tap. Let's see. I mean, of course, I do know some of these. So, I said it's summer, I think. All right. Let's take a look.
And I would be aware of the difference between the Julian and Gregorian calendars and other calendars too.
Yes,
I would be going off of not just thinking about just the standard Judeo-Christian calendar.
And what's it called? different translations of the books too. So,
Yes.
This is pretty sure I didn't give you a date before, right?
That's
So, yeah. It is June 23rd today. The Solemnity of St. John the Baptist,
John.
his feast day.
That is interesting. Well, let me just look that up so you don't have to just read it off to me.
Oh, yeah, sure. Well, I'll do so maybe for the folks at home. Well, it's also June 24th. I'm getting it from a couple different.
It's Saint Jean Baptiste.
Yeah.
For us Canucks.
Yes. So typically people burn stuff. Priests bless the fires. It commemorates his birth, and specifically that his role is to prepare the way for the coming of Jesus.
All right.
Jesus Christ.
So, is there a preacher or a town madman by the name of Mr. Wright?
Mr. Wright is not a name. Oh,
Because it could also be a hidden name, kind of like how my character's name means eternal darkness.
right.
So spin along the idea of right or proper for a name in one of the languages I speak. I wouldn't know if I would necessarily know anything about a language I don't speak, obviously.
Okay, make an intelligence and occult roll. If you have any, but cap the occult with your streetwise, I guess.
Cap the occult with my streetwise.
Well, I'm thinking of like knowing occult. No, I guess you would just roll because occult itself is for knowledge.
Yeah.
Streetwise
is finding them afterwards. I'm not going to be able to find them. I'm just going to know they exist. That is something else's problem.
Sure. Okay. Well, what'd you get? Difficulty 6.
1 success.
1 success. Okay. Yeah, you've heard rumblings in the local occult community about a Mr. Wright. He operates down in Cheyenne.
Cheyenne?
Right in the Prince's territory.
Well, now, that is interesting. That is very interesting.
Anyone else with occult may or may not have heard that name before, but how many successes you would get on a roll would tell you how much you would know about him.
Sure, I'll roll.
Okay.
I got nothing in occult.
All right. Then you're never going to have heard of him before.
I had far too many dice to get only 1 success. That was very annoying.
I have a bunch in politics, so unless it's like a pseudonym that has ever occurred in politics.
No. There's another possibility.
Well, I got a 10 and 2 1s.
So no.
Total 4 successes.
Oh, 4 successes. What?
I mean, I have a lot of dice in this.
Sure. Okay. Mr. Wright actually goes. The spelling is Wright. You're familiar enough with him to know that. However, in the occult community, they do often refer to him as Mr. Wrong because they're trying to be funny that way. They are and they aren't, in that they're sort of trying to warn people away from him. He is a very irresponsible occultist in the sense that he seems to know enough to talk a big game and be impressive, and there are people who are impressed by that sort of thing. So he'll sort of form little crowds of fans, and not devotees, but he gets a little cult of personality around him. And then he's just psychologically horrible to them. But promises them bits of power and, but I'll teach you this, or you can help me with this ritual, etc., etc. So, for Nikolai, I mean, that's very human of him, but it's not, he wouldn't. Well, I don't know if self-focus, he would find that morally reprehensible or not. One way or the other, he's not. No one thinks of him as a big player. He's just someone who acts like he's a big player, and knows just enough to make it seem like he knows what he's doing. Suni, do you have any backgrounds involving like clubs or music scenes?
I would say she would. She would.
Any actual backgrounds?
No.
No.
I mean, I have like fame. I don't know if you can translate that into.
Well, but there's a reason she would have that fame, and she would have been around in other places. Make an intelligence and let's just say streetwise roll.
Oh.
And it's not quite what I'm after, but it'll do.
Oh no. Got
Difficulty
1 and
is
2.
6.
Nope.
1 and 2? Okay. Alright. Nothing new to add.
Damn.
Alright. So, for the remainder of the night, before you have to return to your domains, your havens, and go to sleep, what's the long-term, or what takes up the rest of your evening? Let's start with Zephyrin.
Ooh, so yeah, no survivors, just one threat. I mean, I'm curious where this threat came from, and we run the town. How did it get this far on our territory? So I think I would remain on the scene until the forensics is done. I think a good leader would stay in command, and I think that's what I'm gonna do.
That's right, you unifier, you.
That's right.
Have the power in the inner voice. Okay. So, supervising.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ambrose.
How much of the information did Nikolai relay? about Mr. Wright?
I mean, I probably just spew out while I'm taking pictures and stuff. So I probably would just relate all of it. Yeah.
Okay, good. All right. Well, we have some very helpful people that will drive me home so I can do my research. But on the way, not only will one of them give me a ride, they will also run his name through the police database for me to find out where he lives in Cheyenne. So I know who to contact tomorrow to ask permission to go get him.
Okay. All right. They'll look into it. And Thessalia.
She would stick around here. Are there like any places on the ranch that have like books that she could sift through?
Sure. There is a little library in the rec room. Now it's mostly Bibles. Standard King James, actually. And what must have been, I guess, approved literature. There's a lot of the Left Behind series is there, and then a lot of other sort of post-apocalyptic pop Christian fiction, and then a few other ones too. Some like classic sci-fi, but a lot of it has a post-apocalyptic bent to it.
We like a theme. She would flip through it to see if like there's anything circled or any attention brought to any passages, and then if there's nothing, she would roll out. She'd be like, "Oh, the team has this. I've done my duty. I've played my part," and she would go pamper herself.
All right. Okay. There's nothing circled. Revelation has a bookmark in it, or is dog-eared. More than a few copies. You can also sort of see that it's got like a depression on the pages, as if someone held their thumb in there for a while, or a finger in there for a while, and pressed against it. But yeah, no one's marked up the books in any particular way that, seems to be anything more than like little teaching exercises. But I don't know. I don't remember what her sort of religion knowledge is or not. High academics or?
Yeah, I have a
Oracle?
2 in academics. If that
All
helps.
right. Yeah, as you can tell that it's sort of like teaching points and, reviewing, and the little notes in the margin are just, like questions for later for interpretations.
Okay.
The Left Behind series, the first couple, their spines are, more broken and so on. But the last few are very new and untouched. They're all paperbacks, like airport paperback.
She's gonna pick up the untouched ones and take them with her.
Okay. All right, I don't remember how many there are in that series, but you've got the last few.
Perfect.
Okay, and then Nikolai does his forensicing, and then everyone goes to sleep. Amber's doing research before?
Yes, I have access to my library again, so I want to learn a little bit more about Wright and his theories that he does, so I can draft a letter to have someone to drive to the whoever the souls I need to step on.
Yeah.
To say, I am coming to get this person.
Okay.
To not surprise them, because I do have status in the Camarilla, as part of my as well as my Tal'Mahe'Ra status. So I'm going to use the fact that I have a little bit of status and go, hey, this person seems to be a problem, has come across my radar. I want to come get him in a couple of nights, and I want to send a letter in advance to let people know I am coming, so there will be no unfortunate incidents.
Okay, sure.
And I will then show up a day early.
Fair enough. Okay.
So I'm going to tell them I'm going to be there in 3 days. I'm going to show up in 2. Is basically what it is. Because it is a 2.5 hour drive to Cheyenne from Casper, and night falls around 9 p.m. So.
Not so easy.
Wyoming's big.
Yeah. It's surprising there aren't more nomadic Sabbat packs running around. Maybe there are. You just don't know about it.
Oh no, I'd be aware if they were here.
Yep. You guys keep a tidy house. All right. I just gotta. Where is it? There. Okay. So, with the assistance of some of your people, you yeah, he does seem to use his real. Well, there is a right. There's a couple of them actually. A couple of them in Cheyenne. There's an Oliver, a John, and a Samuel.
With my these contacts able to help find that, would they be able to tie them to any online aliases?
Yeah.
What has the dumbest online alias?
Oh, I'm gonna find one for you here. I actually had a great list of them the other day for a different game. What was the one I really liked? It was very nice and simple, but
looking for a handle that makes somebody think they're smarter than they truly are.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah, like I look super smart, and I am more than happy to pontificate. That is exactly who I'm looking for.
Okay.
Given Mr. Wright's description.
So judging by what they can find on social media and so on, Oliver is known as Swear Bear on Fortnite. So they tell Ambrose that this probably is not him.
Mm-hmm.
They're not going to rule it out, but they think the likelihood may be less. Smegmatron goes to the local university. Again, maybe Maybe it could be him. In fact, they're thinking more likely than Swearbear. But, last is not least in this situation. And Samuel Wright, after they do a little more searching, is active on a number of he kind of seems to run the gamut. He's on some black metal boards, forums, and Reddit channels. Reddit, yeah. Do they call it a channel? I barely use Reddit. Subreddits. Thank you.
Got you.
He's also on local news ones where he posts advertisements for shows. It seems like he's a bit of a promoter and scenester. And he goes by the name here. There. Oh, I missed it. There it is. Diabolus Gorgo.
Diabolus Gorgo. Does he have a show coming up on the 25th?
He does.
Excellent. I would say I'd buy a ticket, but no, I'm just going to walk in.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
It's at the... Oh, I probably shouldn't use a real place's name. It's at a place called Bandit Bar. Which,
Excellent.
judging by everything, looks to be like probably more of a country crowd.
Excellent. I will make sure my letter says I will be there on the 26th. And I'll make sure I arrive about 12:01 on the 26th.
All right. That is in downtown Cheyenne, which is the domain of Prince Collins.
Yep. And I will let Prince Collins, I will send a letter to Prince Collins to let them know I will be in town on the 26th.
Okay. Interestingly enough, while he's never confirmed it, there is much suspicion that the prince is the that Casper is the namesake. Namesake? He's the namesake of Casper. Historically, Casper Collins was the son of I just want to find it here properly so as I don't give anybody our names. Lieutenant Colonel William O. Collins, who from what I can quickly tell, did not do some great stuff there involving massacres and so on. Let's just double check that. Yep, Massacre of the Cheyenne. And he was their son who was killed by a group of native warriors, and he renamed the garrison Fort Casper, and then it gradually became the town, or city. A little bit of history there. That's where that's where people suspect the prince comes from. He may or may not be the same person. Okay. So, everyone goes to sleep at that point. Had your your time, your rest, your fun, your studies, and next night you wake up. Let's I did want to bookmark this before, but let's just do a quick search. How is that not found? Yes. Where are the rules for this? Ah, there they are. Hunting. Okay. If you have heard, which they don't encourage,
Except to the cult. So we do have a...
except for the cult.
Yeah, we do have a bit
You
of
do
the to the cult.
Okay, so everyone's got to spend that blood point to wake, but it's easy enough to feed. Yeah, I guess you can all use it, can't you? So it's one less than the cult?
Yeah. If you have like 30 people in the herd.
30 people in the herd?
I believe so. Let's see look for right now.
Yeah. Then I will go to herd. So 4 in herd. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, 4 in herd.
So it adds to your rolls for hunting. There we are. Okay, so how about everyone tells me how they want to hunt and where? And then we'll pick die rolls that would make sense. So, like, appearance and subterfuge. You go to a nightclub and find some douchebag to not drain of blood. That would be very irresponsible. You might use appearance and subterfuge, and you might chase someone down with stamina and athletics, or wits and streetwise if you really want to properly hunt. So the difficulty depends on where you do it. I guess you should have a rack here, which is the designated feeding place and easy place to feed. So that's a difficulty 4. But then the more the places that are more likely for you to be seen, it increases in difficulty. So downtown business or warehouse district would be 6, suburb 7, or a heavily patrolled area 8. So,
Well, I said if people show up and fuck with my haven, that's who I feed on. So that's what I'm sticking to. If nobody's fucking with my haven, then I'll get 1 dot hungrier.
okay. Why don't we call it a heavily patrolled area, and you can roll for how you would do it. So difficulty 8.
Difficulty 8. I think the best way to do that would be.
Do you want to circle back around?
Yeah, I would probably just intimidate them and take what I want.
Okay.
So manipulation and intimidation.
Yep.
Sound reasonable?
Yep.
No
Succeed?
successes.
None? Okay. All right. So the curious individual is scared away from your residence, but not in a fashion where it's particularly convenient to give chase and drain his blood. Okay, Nikolai?
I'm probably more focused on doing my research right now, so I'm going to have my retainer capture me an animal because I live on a reservation.
Okay. Are you the right generation where you can feed on animals?
Don't think there's no rules about it.
I thought there were.
Not any specifically. Pretty sure there isn't.
Okay.
It's mentioned about some vampires needing to be kindred, but even that's not listed as a specific generation. But otherwise, I'll probably just go hungry because I'm probably just focused on the research.
Sure. Okay. Sorry, I just want to double check because I was certain there was one, and I just want to make sure I'm not.
I mean, there's definitely some in other games, but I was looking at them I've seen in this one.
Oh yeah, it's not specified like that, right?
Yeah,
I think Requiem has it like that, pretty up front.
Requiem definitely has.
Yeah.
Has it.
All right, so yeah, you can feed off an animal. Celia?
Ooh. She would try to finesse a person to get them alone using her female prowess.
Okay, so presence or manipulation plus...
Probably subterfuge.
I would say subterfuge. Yeah.
What's the difficulty?
It depends where you want to do it. What kind of area of town?
Should we go somewhere? I think it would still be in a more city-like area, where there's more people, but it's she'll try to bring her target into an alley.
Okay, well, let's still say 6. Then.
Okay. I got no successes.
No. Okay. Well, no blood out of there. They don't run away. She just realizes she can't do this successfully in this situation. Zephyrin?
Normal hunt is very boring. I know I can outrun any of my prey, so I'll have my prey come to me. I'm going to target a heavy area, and my interest in politics. I want to go to, around the grounds of a late night charity event or drive or something like that. Pick out some young individual, some upstart that thinks that they can make a difference in the world, and I'll smooth talk them into saying that they can't, but they won't know that they won't be able to make a difference because I'm about to kill them, and it's all irrelevant anyway.
You're going that far. Okay.
Yeah, that's my plan. So I'm gonna talk them up into a frenzy, kind of have a fun political debate with them, poke holes in their beliefs, and then just say, listen, we can continue this conversation, follow me, and then unbeknownst to them, they'll be falling right into my trap.
Okay, all right. I forgot you guys can add 4 dice to the damn roll because of herd. So, my apologies. You roll those 4 dice, and if you get a success, you can.
Well, I got 2 10s and a 9 on those 4 dice.
Yeah,
I had a 6, so I got 4 6. I had no successes on my first roll. I got 11.
That's what was missing. So yes, you do catch that fucker and just scare the shit out of him, then drain him of blood or the extent that you want to, and can fill up.
No,
so
he doesn't die. No,
okay.
No.
So to the extent
he does, however, get sent scurrying off with some shroud and a little bit of fear of the darkness, and I want to terrify them.
Yeah, well,
because apparently my goal is to make it harder to hunt on my own in my own turf.
Yes. Stay away from me. I'm a vampire.
Yeah, pretty much. I'm an unholy monster who is here to punish you. Learn your lesson and go away.
All right. Stevie, do you want to roll those 4 dice, and then Tola, you can roll I guess I would say maybe also manipulation and intimidation, plus an extra 4 dice.
Ooh, okay. So 7 dice total. I can do that.
Difficulty is 7 though, based on where you are.
Difficulty 7. I got 3 successes.
Okay. And Suni?
I got 2.
Okay. So I don't think anyone spent blood except for the one burnt to wake up, but everyone can basically refill themselves to max if they want. And your particular methods are successful and accomplished. So the plan is 12:01 today. Tomorrow. So what's everyone doing for this?
I have to send a letter tonight, otherwise it'd be rude.
Oh, correct. Yes. So the letter is going to be sent. What else is everyone up to?
Going to try to cross-reference that ritual. Try to see if I can figure out where he got the stuff that was actually right from.
Okay. Yeah. And everyone else?
That's a good question. Because I am known to lead and not to read. The only other relevant skill is like finances, so I think the only thing that I'd be doing is just planning this trip logistically. I really don't see.
I mean, you could try to find the money trails, who owned the ranch, who bought the ranch recently, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could look within some records. The only thing is I don't really have, because that would be like an academics thing.
No,
I have
finance.
That'd be
finance would be its own thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Academics would be like humanities, but finance would be study of like financial law. Politics
Yeah.
would be political law.
So I do have finance and I do have law. I guess that would work with like permits or like deeds and stuff like that. I'd be able to like look into that.
Yeah.
That seems like a good angle. Yeah.
Okay, so it'd be an intelligence roll along with, well, it can be multiple rolls, but intelligence plus whichever one of those 2 you're currently working on.
Let's do the finance first.
Okay, and then so make a roll for each of those. Ray, make an occult and intelligence roll, and then Suni, what are you working on?
I'm assuming my library definitely apply here.
Yeah.
I might be able to help with
6.
something with Suni if you're interested. Because my police contacts did say that this person is tied to music. And I don't care much about that, but I know what Thessalia does. So I might just have to find someone to take me to Thessalia. By just walking down the street and say, go take me to the songstress. The best one in town, you know who it is.
Was it the
Yes.
Oh yeah, that's
Yeah, just like I'm not so much asking as using dominate, going, no, you're doing this, take me to this person.
and they do. So
They have a car, they can drive me.
where is Thessalia this evening after her hunt?
Oh, she would be I would say like a jazz lounge, somewhere low lit where she could just be in the darkness and listen to music.
Okay. Yep. Easy to you've got one. You have one of those. This is your town after all. So whether or not I can find it in Casper itself, it's there in the world of darkness. So you're sitting there listening to a very nice, gentle jazz, and in walks Ambrose.
She wouldn't notice him at first. She'd be too engrossed in the music and just kind of swaying and just following along.
All right. Ambrose is a very, it's not a lively place. But it's a very chill place, whether or not that's something he vibes off of or not.
Ambrose is kind of anti-vibes.
Yeah, I figured.
Everything gets worse when I show up.
Oh yeah, that's true. I mean, because none of you are on humanity, so none of you really read as human to other people, and none of you act human. You might act according to your path, but none of you act. And so people might recognize some of that, but no one would look at you and go, "Yeah, totally human."
And I think trying to
the
accentuate
Qatari-
that feeling of
I think for
uncomfort.
Qatari, they have an aura of seductiveness.
Yes, except for, I mean, the Cathari you might not notice on account of the fact that, like, whoa, check them out. And I guess maybe power in your voice might be very, like, commanding and stuff like that. Yeah, I guess the vibe is very, very, like, seductive, smoky room, jazz lounge. As a trio plays a very Angelo Badalamenti. I don't even know how you describe him, but well, if you know the guy who does a lot of David Lynch's scores, that's who I'm talking about here. So, particularly anything from like Mulholland Drive or some background stuff to The Lost Highway that wasn't done by another artist, is kind of the tone of the room. And Thessalia notices it's almost like a chill passes over the room as her column mate steps in, and the doorman drops the glass he's holding, and it shatters on the ground, and he kind of shrinks away. People at the bar go to find a table at the back of the club, and Ambrose walks in and commands attention, even if he might not want it. This is the first time all night that you've heard the saxophone player miss a note. He almost, like, he chokes and it comes out as a squeak on the reed.
Hearing that, Thessalia will like have like this large grin on her face because it sounds like fear, and that's a tasty emotion. And she turns her head and sees Ambrose approaching, and she says, "Oh, look who's decided to enjoy some music." And she like gestures over to the little couch area that she's sitting in.
No one can sit down. I learned a little bit about Mr. Wright.
Tell me more. Tell me everything.
He's apparently arranges musical recitals in Cheyenne.
That grabs her interest immediately, and she kind of like scoots closer, and she has like this smile, and she says, "Ooh, recitals. Can anyone join them?"
I'm sure we can. He's having one on the 25th.
She opens her phone and she's like already in her calendar adding go to this recital. No information further. She says, "Well, then we must go there, shouldn't we?"
Yes. We should not arrive before midnight. But is it a place called Bandit Bar? I trust you will be able to find a way to make sure that we blend in, or not.
You've heard of Bandit Bar. It's a bit of a rougher kind of. It is still on the strip and in the rack of Cheyenne, but it very much models itself as an outlaw bar. It's kind of a rough crowd. You get a lot of bikers might pop by there, or a lot of cowboys. And it's one where fights break out pretty frequently. But they usually book country acts or like country rock, and not like new country rock, like, a little less metally than Ministry's Jesus Built My Hot Rod kind of thing. But Pantera played there once, and they fit in perfectly, we'll put it that way. Rights Act seems like it might not fit in quite as well. There might be violence sooner than usual.
Ooh, okay. Desalia tends to dress kind of extravagantly and luxuriously. She will most definitely stick out. But she says to Ambrose, "Oh, we'll fit in, no problem. We fit in anywhere." Do I know, like, the owner of the Bandit Bar? Would I know that?
I mean, you can find out who it is. Whether or not she would know him, it's not her domain.
Right.
And so she can always go there. But she would have to be wary of using her vampiric nature to her advantage there, because it might belong to somebody else in that area. So being like completely normal like a mundane relationship would be more likely.
Ooh, okay. Oh, how would she play this? I feel like she would play off that she kind of always sticks out.
Okay.
And oh, sorry, I'm trying to blank.
That's okay. Yeah. So going to stand out or going to blend in?
She really should blend in, but she's not the type. That's the problem.
That's fine. Yeah.
So I think she would spend more time trying to get Ambrose to fit in than she
Okay.
would. Like, hide him and let her get all the eyes on her.
Okay. Make him less scary.
Yeah, sing a nice song
Okay.
when he comes in. No, just kidding.
Sure. Okay. All right. So that'll be some of the thought. Okay. Great. So while you guys are working on that, the roles from the other guys. Nikolai, why don't you start?
I'm actually doing the 2 things. So for the research, I got 6 successes. I'm also doing blood walk because I could get a sample of blood. I got 5 successes on that.
All right. Talk me through blood walk.
Blood walk lets each success lets me see back 1 generation of the person whose blood I have.
Yeah.
And I get to know the true name of the ancestor and image of his face. So I can go back 5 generations to the limit of the 4th generation. I cannot see 3rd generation.
Okay.
If I got 3 more successes, which I did, I can also learn the identity of all parties with whom the subject shares a blood bond, either it's regnant or thrall.
Holy cow. Okay. You get names and everything?
True name and image of his face.
All right. So you get an image. Well, so you get this guy, of course.
I think the big change is you no longer immediately know generation. Because the old version, you also knew the generation immediately and what clan they are. You don't know that anymore.
And he goes back 5 generations?
Up to 5 generations. Because that's how many successes I got.
Okay. Let's see here. Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, it was up at the 4th if he's low enough generation.
Sure, yeah. He's not.
Figured he wouldn't be.
No. His true name isn't like what name he goes by, truly?
Just the true name of the ancestor. The true name of the ancestor.
Oh, of the ancestor.
Yeah, not his name.
Not his name, okay.
Yeah.
The ancestor name, okay. And that's the one 5 generations back.
I would see them all up to 5 generations back.
And all of their true names.
Yeah, all their true names. The image of the face.
Okay. All right. So he. Okay. I can give you the in-between ones at a later point. They're nobody he knows about.
Mm-hmm.
But then he hits the 9th generation, which is the 5th one on, right? So 12, 11, 10. Oh, no, there's one more. Okay. The 9th generation, he has a name. Okay. Make an intelligence and I guess you don't have like a kindred lore kind of skill. I guess occult.
Okay. What difficulty?
8.
Two successes.
2. Okay.
I don't think my specialty applies, otherwise it'd be 3.
Right. So the true name of this person, well, the face rather, is one sort of familiar to you. It's a woman, maybe in her mid-20s, Brazilian, and you know her, you've seen her face before because you know of her name as Julia Azevedo. She's on the red list.
Okay.
Her true name is Francisca Santos dos Rodriguez. She's on the red list because she is a pretty significant infernalist and known to be somebody that basically has gone around and fucked with
In that
various.
case, my specialty would definitely have applied.
Various Cameroon.
Infernalism.
Oh well, there you go. Okay.
Yeah.
Various Cameroon and Sabat cities. Just messing things around, but the red list does know of her, and yeah, you rolled high enough that the face and the name is familiar. You've come across it at one point or another.
Okay.
But the infernalism part is why it's stuck.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not very good at drawing, so I'll just write a description of all the people whose faces I saw with the names and text to the group to investigate. Also learn who he might share a blood bond with as well.
Who he might?
Yeah, who he does. All parties with whom the subject shares a blood bond, either as a regular or draw.
You don't know them, but there are 4 other.
Okay, I mean, I'll know that so there's at least 4 others that I'm guessing they're thralls or.
They're. I don't know what you'd call them, brood mates. In a sense, like you sense a blood connection between them.
Okay.
Okay. And then you were also doing research on. Well, you got 6 successes on the ritual, right? Okay.
Yeah. The origins of the ritual.
Yeah. The origins of the ritual. It is. Well, it's from the Levant. Well, okay. About a third of it matches a ritual from the Levant, which is used to summon up or awaken a demon that inhabits a space. It's almost like it either opens a gate to hell or awakens a sort of genius loci version of a demon.
Okay. Can I tell if the ritual was sabotaged or if it was more like he stumbled onto the right stuff?
It's intermixed with a lot of I don't know how it's mixed with a lot of like you'd recognize it as initially sort of Rosicrucian and sort of early Hermetic ritual, which is also, well, in this case, is meant to.
I guess what I'm trying to figure out is what's like a ritual that was like degraded by time and by getting screwed up, or was it like someone took a real ritual and was like let's let them play around this messed up version of it instead of like something that's just like naturally degraded over time.
Your guess is more that it was a like deliberate.
Okay.
Deliberate mess up, but you not sure where down the line it was deliberately tampered with.
Yeah. So it wasn't recent.
Maybe not.
Okay.
Like someone could have mixed up, thrown in a few extra chants or symbols that don't have anything to do with it. But as to when that happened. Oh, I guess if you're going backwards far enough. No, okay, so the original ritual, the correct ritual, you see and can see, but you don't find anything in your research about it being corrupted at some point. So whoever did this recently.
My knowledge of my own knowledge of casting magic, like what it would have been someone recently sabotaged it.
Yes, exactly.
Or was it there's something screwed up.
So, but yeah, based on looking through like the scores of occult books, etc., then this was a recent adjustment to it.
All right, I'll pass that knowledge on.
Okay. What's up? Hey, everybody. Okay, and Zephyrin.
Yeah, so I rolled 1 success for the finance, and then depending on if it's difficulty 6 or higher, depends what the successes for the law were. If it is 6 or higher, then it would be 3. If not, it's 2.
Okay. The land deed belongs to an Everett Parker.
Mm-hmm.
Out of Cheyenne.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And the payment, or the money trail, is in a holding company called Blue Rock Capital.
Gotcha. Ambrose, did you only let Thessalia know that you were coming and of the plans to go to Cheyenne on the 25th, 26th?
Thessalia's the only person I've had a chance to talk to since the night before, so yes.
Okay.
It's not that it's not that I'm not willing to share this information. It's just that I haven't talked to anybody but Thessalia yet.
Perfectly fine. Because I guess my
the WhatsApp chat.
Yeah, I mean,
Thessalia can tell everybody.
I do have a 3 in technology with a focus on security.
Oh, yeah, okay.
So I do have probably set up some kind of really secure encrypted.
So you're using Signal instead of WhatsApp.
Yes, I am using Signal instead of WhatsApp.
Yeah, so I think the deed belonging to a person that is out of Cheyenne makes me interested in Cheyenne. But I don't know Ambrose's information yet. What I would be curious, though, is because of my interest in politics, whether or not I already know that this is not, well, whose domain it is. You mentioned it was Collins?
Prince Collins? Yeah,
Prince Collins. And then and if I do plan a visit to Cheyenne, is there some sort of protocol in the sense of, like, should I announce that, hey, I'm going to be in your territory? Like, what would be...
And that's partly what Ambrose is doing with the letter. When entering Camarilla territory, one presents oneself to the prince, or the ruler of that domain, to entreat hospitality. There are 6 traditions in the Camarilla, and those are 2 of them. That's right. I didn't really go over that because you're not specifically Camarilla, and we hadn't established you were Camarilla yet. But that is the 6 traditions are the Masquerade, most important one, which is don't be found out. I think second domain, don't kill me. Prince. Second is domain. So yeah, it's about respect for one's domain, not there are other traditions. Okay. So respect for it, taking care of your own domain, your land, your law kind of thing. The third one is progeny, so you can only create another vampire with permission of an elder, typically the prince, because they need to know who's being added to their city and who they need to watch out for. Which brings us to the fourth tradition, the accounting, which is you create a vampire, your problem. They fuck up, you fucked up. Until they're released, they've done their what's the word? There's a word for it.
They've proven themselves, is what you're trying to
Yeah, until they prove themselves. The fifth tradition is hospitality, which is the one you're paying attention to now. So when you go to a foreign city, you present yourself to the one who rules, and if
presumably we've really all done this, right? That's what alternate things are.
Yes, I mean in this case you have done it before, but it's also good, a good habit to just say, by the way, we're coming to town. That way the prince can make sure there's extra blood for you. And then the sixth one is destruction. You are not allowed to kill other kindred. Only the elders are allowed to do that, and those they give permission to. They as well are the only ones who can officially call a blood hunt, which is the one that lets you kill other vampires. So yeah, that was it in short. So yes.
That being said, yeah, I do have motivation to announce my presence in the short term. But perhaps I will wait off on it until I've regrouped with my compatriots.
Sure. Okay.
But this is on the back of my mind for sure.
Okay. Do we want to fast forward to the next night and arriving in Cheyenne?
Or at least fast forward to us getting together and sharing information.
Oh, yeah. Well, so let's presume over the course of the evening, the group chat is very busy, except for those of you who happen to be in the same physical space. And then, you can make any preparations you need to and sleep on it before the next night.
Well, one thing I want to do to prep to go to this music recital is get some money.
You have money.
Cool.
I'll provide you with some money.
The cult will
I
provide
don't need you to
some
provide
money.
me some money. I can acquire my own. I have Dominate and there are mortals.
Fair enough.
You're the secret masters of a cult that spans the entire city.
That's a nation, actually.
It's true.
Was that? Oh, yes, right. Of course. Yes, you're just localized in
Yeah,
Wyoming.
this is the headquarters of it.
Yeah, it was the headquarters and the quiet space where you can do your studies.
We have resources 4 in total, which is well past millionaire.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Who do you have in your pocket? Answer: all of them.
Excellent.
You might as well be a sect unto yourselves with cult at that level. Okay, yeah, so you can get your money. Anything else anyone wants prepped specially that they can think of right now?
I guess I just want more information on the prince. See, who their connections are, and kind of getting a feel for the land before I go in and investigate a little bit more.
Sure. And this is fine. We didn't establish a lot of this at the beginning of the game, and so this is good exposition for the audience and also what you would know yourselves. So, Prince Collins, Prince Casper Collins, is a Malkavian who would blend very well with the Ventru of the domain. He likes old fashion and finery, and keeps up with the times best he can. So he's and anything he has that looks old is always newly made to look old. Well, like of old styles and things, but with some adjustments to make it more suitable for the modern knights.
He's a vintage girly.
Yes, and his rule, I guess, it is looked on favorably enough. It's very Wyoming. Especially because the domains are so spread out here. He does have his sheriff, a gangrel of an unknown generation, is relatively overworked with numerous subordinates who basically kind of do a like that kind of lawman rotation between each domain, city to city, and territory to territory, so that they can at least be present and on the ground to exert his authority as they need to, which is about the best he can do to really keep to utilize kindred abilities to keep his overall domain together. But a lot of authority and a lot of the day-to-day is given to those who claim domain. So hence why your cult has been able to flourish in Casper, and why he's not unpopular amongst the other sort of landholders, because he basically leaves them alone unless there's a reason to get involved. What else do you want to know? He's strict with the traditions, though.
Okay. Yeah, I think that's good enough for now. If I think of something else, I'll ask.
Okay. All right. Anyone else?
Does the person we're going to go find, do they record their music?
Yeah, they do. They have a YouTube
Sally
channel.
will be doing. She'll be doing like a deep dive on it. She'll rip apart as much as it is possible, and she'll like live text the group as she's doing it. And she'll also like send a text talking about the bandit bar, and that it's a pretty rough place where a fight can break out at any minute. And in parentheses, she put looking at you, Ambrose, and like puts like a knife with like blood spurt emojis. You're muted.
Muted. So Ambrose doesn't even have a cell phone. He's just gonna be like, he's just gonna show up as like, whatever. I've got a doctor's bag.
Yes, I carry one of those in my bag. It often causes blood to spurt out.
Well, I did specifically write down what I wanted to make sure I noted that was going to be in my Gladstone bag when we leave, and it does include a bone saw, so we'll be fine.
All right. Okay. Yeah, it might be an interesting show. The performer, not right, but the one he's booked, goes by the moniker Mantus, Mantus.
Ooh, okay.
Those of you with occult, it's an epithet of the Etruscan chthonic fire god Suri, later Soranus, and a god of the underworld.
Ooh.
Then, also in connection to his consort Katha, or Mania, who's a goddess of the dead, spirits and chaos, mother of ghosts, the undead, and other spirits of the night. And yeah. His music is best described as well, when shown to your two occult experts, they do see a lot of like kind of old Roman and Etruscan and sort of belief and ritual of that area. And it's that as conveyed through black metal music. So he's not a Norwegian black metal musician, he's an Etruscan black metal musician.
So hip.
It's a niche market, but you know, there's a resurgence. Everyone's interested in Rome and thinks about it all the time, apparently. So they also think about pre-Rome.
Okay. Yeah, she would relay any information she can get out of those videos.
Okay. He's got a poor understanding of the mythology. It seems he picked up the name, you know, and some of the basics, but not. He is not an academic in the area or a scholar, based on his lyrics and his appearance and a sort of general aesthetic.
Okay.
All right, so to Cheyenne.
To Cheyenne.
To Cheyenne.
You get one of your retainers picks up the is it a Lincoln town car? Those are the longer, big kind of. This is what we drive the important people in.
A full size, yeah. That'll work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And starts driving. You got plenty of time to discuss and prepare in the back. The letter has been sent ahead to the prince.
Yesterday, yes.
Yep. And you have received correspondence welcoming you to his domain and asking you to please stop in whenever you've concluded your business. And after after the trip, the car pulls up at Bandit Bar. There are maybe 7 motorcycles lined up outside. And this is on a main strip too. It's not like it's a bar just kind of out on the outskirts of town. There's a lot of skulls on the bikes. Chains. They're kind of usual biker things. And you can hear heavy metal music blaring out of the speakers that are covering the sort of patio in the outdoor area. People are smoking out there. Plenty of beers in the hand. Looks like a bumping night.
Excellent. I want to look for 2 things.
Mm-hmm.
Is there a separate entrance to the patio than from the main door?
There is.
Are there natural gas pipes going inside?
Well, let's see the likelihood of that, if Google will help us. I'm guessing... yes, there are.
Excellent. That way, if we have to suffocate the room, we can blame it on carbon monoxide poisoning.
Always thinking ahead on how to get away with suffocating the room. Okay, what's everyone else doing?
Thessalia, in this case, I feel like she'd be one of the first ones to walk in and keep the attention on her and let everybody else do what they need to do. Set up how they want.
I think both of us have that sort of presence where we do want to make our presence known.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like we would walk in together.
Sure.
Ooh.
Okay. And Nikolai?
I'm definitely here as my Toreador alt identity. So
yeah.
I'm dressed up as like a very rich hipster cowboy outfit.
Yeah.
And because of my path, I kind of give up this stoner vibe.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Sure.
So I walk in, and I'm in terms of my identity, I'm kind of known as a drug dealer. So.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'll probably wait until they walk in and then walk in after them.
Okay. And then I assume Ambrose is following.
Ambrose looks like this. He did not change his dress for anything.
Right. Okay.
And I've got my Gladstone back.
Right. So the 4 of you enter. And there's a bit of a path clears for you. The bikers who are there, they're all wearing their cut says Sons of Marduk on the back, and even the big ones kind of give you a bit of space as you walk in. You can see somebody with their back turned, sort of, setting up some stuff on the stage. And then they stand up. There's a man. It is Mantis in the flesh, and he's got a guitar. It's a warlock, and a microphone on a stand in front of him, and then a lot of pedals on the floor. And he starts tuning his guitar while everyone waits. The bikers start yelling stuff at him. None of it polite.
Thessalia will give Zephyrin a look and gesture over to Mantis and say, "So that's the one performing." He looks. She looks him up and down and gives a little frown and says, "Well, it looks like he kind of belongs with this group of people." And she just gives the room a scan, and she turns back to Zephyrin and says, "Shall we go speak to him?"
I suppose if we have to. This whole place lacks sophistication.
I agree.
But yes, let's make our way over. And yeah, I guess we'll start making for sort of the front row area.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And I think so how does presence work as a discipline? Let me
which one?
Let me just see something, because I'm wondering to what extent I should use presence at this very moment. Perhaps not much. Let's leave it for now.
It depends on how much you want to be the center of attention.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a consideration right now. Yeah, I think we'll just move up to the front for now. I think even with the people making way for us, I think that's enough attention, at least for now.
Okay. All right. So, the other two, you guys moving forward, staying back? What's the?
I'll probably stay towards the back, find a spot where people would generally want to buy drugs and start selling drugs.
All right. Yeah, easy to do, especially with the entire crowd here. Okay, and Ambrose?
Who's the scariest person in the bar that isn't me?
That's, and your compatriots.
Yes.
Well, so it's relative. So, one of the bikers?
Sure. I just go and stand uncomfortably close to them, and if they move away, I just keep following around the bar.
Oh, okay. That does start happening. And he does start moving away around the bar, and he's looking like hey man, what are you doing?
Hey, don't respond.
He's really kind of ugh. Keeps going.
That's exactly what I want to do. I want to make the vibes bad.
All right. Well, the music begins as. Oh, sorry. Were you using your presence discipline?
No, I'm not going to use it.
Oh, okay. The music begins. It's just Mantis. He has a drum machine that he's got going through the speakers and his guitar. His voice is synthesized out of the mic. And he plays just really fast, tremolo single note solo, almost like he's playing one straight solo the whole way through. And kind of, almost sounds like he's chanting into the mic. Roll in perception and occult. Anyone who has them and wants to.
I will.
Difficulty?
6.
Would my Infernalism specialty apply?
Yes, it will.
I got
So you said occult and what else?
Perception.
Perception. Ooh.
5.
0.
Yeah, okay. I mean, I might as well not make you guys roll for some of this, considering the dice rolls if you got going on.
That's 4.
Is he performing a ritual of summoning? And we'll break there for the night.
Oh. Simon.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Well, I know what I'll be starting doing the next session, and that's Shroud to kill all the sound.
Yes.
And possibly some of the people. We'll see what happens.
If they happen to... Look, I didn't tell them to come here tonight. You know, things happen. It's just the way of the world, right? Okay, so that was the second episode of All the Devils Are Here, a Chronicle of the Black Hand for Vampire 20th Anniversary Edition. Let's just quickly, we can go around and everyone can reintroduce themselves, say who they played, and if they have something evergreen they want to plug, go for it. So let's start in reverse order this time. Tolly.
Hey everyone, my name's Toli. I played Zephyrin, and it was a pleasure as always. I don't have anything to plug. Thank you.
Ray.
I am Ray. I played Nikolai today, and I also have anything to plug.
Ryan.
Yes, I'm Ryan. I played Little Sombrady Tribute, Ambrose Blakely. If you're ever in the Toronto area, check out the Goodfellas crew, which I work with. It's a happy hardcore promotion company. We got some parties coming up that you might have some fun at.
Awesome. And last but not least, Suni.
That's me. I'm Suni. I am playing Thessalia, Daughters of Cacophony, and I guess I'll plug my IG again, Wham Bam Narrow Tan, where I do fun little cosplays and be a silly goose. And it was a pleasure.
Now with 5 N's.
75 N.
75
actually.
N's. But for real, when should they stop? 1, 2? 3. Okay. 3 N's at the end. Awesome. And I am Simon, and if you are here, you know that I am the Tabletop Almanac, and storyteller or game master for this. You can also find me over at Dork Tales on occasion, or other people's streams on Twitch when they ask me if I want to come on. Sometimes on Xpath, sometimes not. It's been a blast, and we'll see you next episode. Take care, everyone, and leave those Etruscan Books of the Damned where they're lying.
In the British Museum.
In the British Museum until the Etruscans retrieve them from there.